Hey everyone, it's Mike with It's Pittsfield Tonight. I'm going to jump right into it. And today is Election Day, Tuesday, November 2nd. So make sure, if you're a registered voter, make sure you exercise your right to vote and participate in this election. It's a really, really important one, a lot on the table. So if you want to have a voice about North Street, the wastewater treatment plant, how the $41 million in ARPA funding is spent, school resource officers, there's so many huge things on the table. We're talking about a new police station. We're talking about what to do with our dwindling enrollment in our public schools and what to do there. Another big one is school and student choice out, and the fact that over the past 6 or 7 years, our schools are continuously ranked underperforming by the state. And there's a lot I'm going to go into in other videos about that, but those are the big issues on the table. So if you want to have a voice, you need to participate in today's election. I know a lot of people are calling for 17 to 18% voter turnout. I want all of you to prove them wrong. I'm hoping just 20 to 23. I'd like to see a lot more, but if 20 to 23% of our registered voters will just take the time to go vote today, please, please do that. You can't complain if you don't vote. So please, let's prove everyone wrong and get those percentages up, and let's make this a good turnout. There's a lot on the table, again, and there's a lot of candidates with opposing views. So you can go to itspittsfieldtonight.com. There's a tab for Pittsfield City Elections 2021 right from the main menu, and it says Know Your Candidates. Click on that. I'll also have the link right on this post for that. And you can check out all the interviews I did. There was only a few candidates that I wasn't able to get an interview with. School committee, I did one with Bill Tyre. It's longer than I thought. I went to go put that up last night. It's almost a half hour long. It's 28 and a half minutes. I got to figure out what to do there. It won't get any views if I put it up as a half hour. And Bill's just very, very passionate. He's got a lot to say. He cares a lot. So, but Bill Tyre, again, is running for school committee. He's the only one in the school committee I was able to interview. And I'll try to get some excerpts from that and figure out a way to get that info out there this morning sometime if I can, just so you can have that. But the polls are open from 8 to 8. You've got all day to go do this. Please, to our registered voters, participate. The Eagle, again, many of you saw that I had that post up. I'm going to keep saying this, where I was not happy about them making their endorsements. And 98% of you agreed with me. There was a couple people who said, come on, this is how it goes. What are you talking about? It's the editorials and the opinion page, same place where your letters to the editor go. Well, I tell you what, if you go to the Eagles website today, on top of their front page, ahead of the top story, it's before heading to the polls. Click here, and it's their picks. So it's not way in the back somewhere under an op-ed piece. It's right there, and I find that wrong, being that they're the only newspaper, and there's no other views coming from any other publications. And I just find that to be completely irresponsible, and they wonder why their subscription rate keeps dwindling. You're pushing people away by doing that. And I thought about, I know I've said this in yesterday's video, I know how hard it is for anybody to run for office. The time that has to go into it, what it puts you and your family through. Some people can be mean and vicious. You have to there's that element you always have to deal with. Signs being stolen, that's another big one, and I'm going to talk about that later. And I told people, look, I'm not talking about the state highway guys picking up signs. I had cameras out and GPS chips. So we'll talk about that later. I'm going to have a meeting with some of the candidates whose signs were taken that I have some info on, and we'll take that from there and see what they want to do. Because if we don't have to stir the pot and cause more animosity in the community, maybe it's not worth it. But I wish people wouldn't do that. Those signs cost a lot of money, and it's stealing, and it's not right. But anyway, back to what I was saying is I understand how much people have to put themselves through to put themselves out there and run for office. And that's why it also upset me that our only paper, by intervening like that and making their picks, it discourages people from wanting to get involved. Because there you are in the paper now, and they're like, they didn't pick you, and it makes you look, I know how that is. I've been on the losing side of too many campaigns. I won't be on the losing side of the next campaign that I get involved in, which will be my own, running for mayor in 2 years. But anyway, I had an idea. I said, I'm going to reach out to all the losing candidates after this election because they want to be involved. They want to be part of the community. People getting involved and volunteering or wanting to speak up and be part of things it's hard to get people to do that anymore. And I don't want to see people lose and just fade away. So I want to offer them like guest correspondent spots on this show if they want to stay involved and want to stay engaged and still have a voice. I want that to happen. So whether they be a ward candidate and they lose, then they want to cover some things in that ward, I want them to be part of the process here. And so I'm going to reach out to everyone after the election, all but one individual who just crossed a line insulting me beyond belief. I will not be reaching out to that person. Everyone else, absolutely. All the candidates I've interviewed, I said this yesterday, it was a pleasure. I enjoyed talking to them. I really did. I built some great acquaintances that hopefully can bloom into some friendships. Because it's, again, I know how hard it is to put yourself out there, and if they didn't do it, who would? So it's important to try to let these people know that they are appreciated, and just because the local bird didn't pick them, that we still want them engaged in our community. So I will be reaching out to them and offering them to continue to come on, and like I said, maybe a guest correspondent spot for things happening in their ward or things happening in the city or things happening with the schools. So that's it for now. I'm going to make this as short as possible. Get out and vote today. I will be out myself going to the polling stations, talking to candidates again. If you see me, say hi. I love talking to people. But please exercise your right to vote. It is so important. It is so important to do that. You can't complain if you're a registered voter and you don't go vote. What are you complaining about if you're not part of the process? Please, let's prove everyone wrong and let's get over that 20% registered voter hump for this election. We need to. So again, that's it for now. And I will catch y'all tonight and then early tomorrow morning. And hopefully I'll see a bunch of y'all out there today at the polls. So have a great day, dress warm, and go vote.